government places sponsors of End Bad Governance protest on watch list. Amidst dwindling donor support, group calls on state governments to fund family planning activities to save lives of reproductive age women. 2 students who hacked MTN Nigeria servers granted 100 million naira bail. US elections, Kamala Harris picks Minnesota governor as running mate. Stay tuned for details of these and other reports in a moment. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the news. My name is Mercy Ikire. The Nigerian government said it has identified Nigerians in diaspora who are sponsoring the nationwide End Governance protests. The government said it has placed such individuals on watch lists and also frozen their Nigerian accounts. The Controller General of Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, Kemi Nandap, said the sponsors are on a watch list and will be arrested when entering the country. Ms. Nandap made this known yesterday in Abuja during a combined news conference by heads of security agencies and service chiefs convened by the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Mustafa, at the Defense Headquarters. The Immigration Board said the service had, in response to the protest, deployed more officers to land borders and airports to ensure effective manning of those entry ports. She said that the NIS had also stepped up surveillance to prevent foreign intervention in the country. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, said the police had uncovered some sponsors but declined to give further information on them. Mr. Egbetokun said that some bank accounts of such individuals had been blocked, adding that many of them reside abroad. The Akwa Ibom State government has disclosed plans for a thank you rally for youths across the 31 local government areas of the state. This is to appreciate them for peaceful mien exhibited in the ongoing nationwide protests. Announcing the rally, the governor said his administration will also institute a monthly welfare package of 50,000 naira each for 5,000 youths. He was speaking during a special worship service at the All Nations Christian Ministry International. Ekit's Government House reporter Patience John tells us more.
The rally, according to the governor, will accommodate 200 youths from each of the 31 local government areas of the state. Governor Mono added that the rally, which is expected, will also afford him the opportunity to unveil other welfare packages for the people.
We have gone back to the drawing board, and very soon I'm meeting with all the youth leadership in the state. But I can tell you that very soon we are going to have a date. I want to have a thank you rally for our young people. We'll use the occasion to tell you what we plan again for our young people. How we are going to create jobs for 5,000 youths, and each local government will come with 200 young people to that rally.
On the resolve to remaining peaceful during the nationwide protests, Governor Moino commended the youths and described their action as laudable and one that has given honor to Akwa Ibom State in the Committee of State and promised more developmental programs for the people.
You heeded to our appeal. Is it not good that we appreciate you? So that next time when people call you, you say, come. You have made our state proud in the Committee of States in this country.
Governor Enoch, who preached at the service, encouraged Christians to do away with fear, but to have faith in God and in His ways, as recorded in the scriptures. The governor's wife, Pastor Patience Mono, took the Bible reading at the service. Patience John, Akbc. ABC. 'News.
The Challenge Initiative has called on the state government to take ownership of family planning activities in Akwa Ibom through timely release of budgeted funds to the Ministry of Health and Primary Healthcare Development Agency. The organization made the call at a media and stakeholders roundtable organized in Uyo. The report.
In his welcome remarks, the TCI Executive Director, Dr. Taiwo Johnson, who was represented by Dr. Obasasam Edit, urged the media to give family planning issues visibility as well as help break the myths and misconceptions surrounding family planning in the state. In her paper titled Catalyzing Economic Growth Through Funding for Family Planning, the chairman, Akwa Ibom State Advocacy Corps Group, Dr. Mando Ekpenyong, disclosed that prompt release of funds for family planning will not only empower women, but will help to reduce population growth, to elevate pressure on the resources, and bring about poverty reduction.
Empowering women, a family planning program often goes hand in hand with promoting gender equality and empowering women. When women have access to contraception and family planning services, they can exercise greater control over their reproductive choices, education, and career.
Also speaking, the family planning supervisor in Pareni local government area, Mrs. Nsima Omo, disclosed the challenges behind provision of consumables in the primary care centers across the state and called on the government to address the situation.
To support the budgetary increase, allocation and timely release of funds for eligibility. The commissioner, quite the Ministry of Health, allocate most of committing and ensure the release and timely release of funds.
She also emphasized the need for the state government to take ownership of family planning programs and extend services to local governments not funded by TCI and other NGOs. The Challenge Initiative noted that family planning awareness will reduce the incidence of mortality among women of reproductive age in the state while also helping in managing population growth. During the media and stakeholders roundtable, the Challenge Initiative presented an overview of the family planning funding landscape in Akwa Ibom, which brought to the fore that from 2020 to 2023, the state government has not released any money for the family planning activities. It drew attention to the fact that family planning is key to achieve sustainable development goals. Investment in family planning in Akwa Ibom is largely partner-driven, with partners' resources in the decline against increased demand and rising out-of-stock rates. Participants recommended high-impact intervention for targeted investment by the state, procurement of family planning commodities and last-point distribution, training of health workers and volunteers in family planning technology. Goodwill messages were received from the representative of the Christian and Muslim communities in Akwa Ibom State.
The National Council members of Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria have converged on Uyo to strategize on the upcoming 97th National Conference slated for November this year in Akwa Ibom State. The immediate past president of the society, Mazi Samuel Ohubunwa, and the incumbent president, Professor Cyril Sifo, briefed newsmen on the preparations for the conference. Before Rudokan reports.
Members of the National Council of Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, which is the policy-making body, according to its immediate past president, Mazi Samuel Ohabowa, chose Akwa Ibom State for the meeting to take brief from NEC and local organizing committee for the upcoming conference. He said the National Council meeting in Uyo has equally afforded them the opportunity to dot the I's and cross the T's to ensure a successful program that will contribute to the economy of Akwa Ibom State, and acknowledged the support as well as the active engagement of pharmacists in the state.
Today, the council is receiving briefing from NEC. NEC met yesterday to look at what the conference planning committee and local organizing committee have done in preparations for our conference, 97th conference, annual conference coming up in November.
The president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Professor Cyril Usifo, recalled that the society was in Akwa Ibom State 10 years ago for its conference, stressing that considering the caliber of personalities invited for the November 2024 conference, it was important to make Akwa Ibom State the destination. Professor Usifo said the November conference will further provide opportunity for Akwa Ibom people to engage pharmacists and strategize on how to start a pharmaceutical company in the state.
There's an opportunity for the Akwa Ibom people to meet pharmacists, to engage pharmacists, to know who pharmacists are, and it's going to be a multiplier effect, not just the economy.
Professor Usifo also spoke on the challenges of the society and their engagement with government on a quarterly meeting, and hoped that the presidential order on zero tariff for pharmaceutical companies and medical devices will bring down the prices of medicine in the country.
In seeing what they can do to contribute to the economy of Akwa Ibom, how we can start some pharmaceutical companies to help Akwa Ibom grow and also to help the state.
The chairman, local organizing committee of the November conference, Mrs. Monica Emojeze, and National Secretary of Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Pharmacy Gafar Lare Medihim, said the event will open up opportunity for investors in the state. For Tudokan, Akbc News.
You're watching Akbc 45 News. We have more reports after this time out. Just stay. An NGO, Women United for Economic Empowerment, in collaboration with the Ministry of Justice and that of Women Affairs and Social Welfare, has flagged off a 2-day community awareness walk to campaign against gender-based violence in all ramifications. The walk, which drew women from Akwa Ibom, Obron, as well as stakeholders from various civil society organizations, had them walk around the Donaldson Secretariat complex with placards. Esther Morin was part of the walk and filed in the following report.
The campaign, according to the Monitoring and Evaluation Officer of Women United for Economic Empowerment, Mr. Joshua Nya, was a way of registering their appeal with governments to ensure that funding measures are provided to law enforcement agencies and other civil societies for prompt attention to gender-based related offenses. Mr. Nya also noted that the campaign is aimed at inciting the government to provide specialized training to medical personnel in handling victims of gender-based violence and advocated collaborations with stakeholders across boards for a successful fight against gender-based violence in the state and the country at large.
We drafted a line of policy brief to engage the line ministries, because we know Ministry of Justice and Ministry of Women Affairs are the frontliner of the frontliner stakeholders to end violence against women and girls. Creating a separate court to handle GBV cases in Akwa Ibom State in order to avert the delay process of cases of gender-based violence, in order for survivors of violence to be able to get justice and also perpetrators brought to book.
The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Iniadi Akpan, said the ministry is collaborating with the Ministry of Finance to ensure that issues related to gender-based violence receive prompt attention, as the state government is ready to pull up resources in giving prompt attention to survivors of gender-based violence. She was represented by Mrs. Nkechi Borodo of the Women Department in the ministry.
The Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare had gone ahead to collaborate with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Economic Development to ensure that all budgeting in the Akwa Ibom State Civil Service and beyond is gender responsive. What it means is that they are going to mainstream gender in every budgeting of every line ministry, department and agencies.
Director, Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Response Unit of the Ministry of Justice, Barrister Memete, who spoke the minds of the Attorney General and the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Justice, highlighted steps taken so far to ensure that perpetrators of gender-based violence are made to face appropriate sanctions, as the ministry is fully committed to ensuring that gender-based violence is curbed in the states.
And we go all out to ensure that we protect victims and ensure that perpetrators are made accountable for their actions. You can have the assurance of the Honorable Attorney General on that, and that of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice. We have done several things to ensure that victims are protected. In our ministry, we have the Department of Public Prosecutions, where perpetrators are prosecuted, but the government went a step further to establish the Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Response Department, which responds directly, to victims who suffer gender-based violence.
Esther Omorin, Akbc News.
A renowned philanthropist and founder of Heal the World Foundation, Dr. Emmanuel Tatam, has donated a Toyota vehicle to a Catholic priest, Reverend Soridim Omaunan. Presenting the car, Dr. Tatam said the gift is to assist the priest in his pastoral work, even as he assumes office as parish priest of Akwa Ibom in Ikona local government area.
Dr. Ntatam, who doubled as chairman on the occasion, expressed happiness for being appointed by the church to chair the occasion, explaining that the gift was a token of appreciation for Father Moman's unwavering commitment to serving God and for being a pillar of strength and inspiration to many others in the community.
We may not have the capacity to do that. We can do that through your offering and donation.
The Ikona-born financial expert revealed that his conscious and consistent efforts at empowering people and building capacities is purely a divine commission, explaining that Heal the World initiative is a vision given to him by God to continually champion humanitarian causes, promote selfless services, and generosity that will pave the way for a brighter and more compassionate world, while calling on good-spirited individuals to contribute to the development of humanity, as that remains the highest service to God. In his commendation remarks, the parish priest of Akwa Ibom, Reverend Father Brian Brown, lauded the ingenuity of Dr. Emmanuel Ntatam and his foundation for supporting the ceremony, his love for God and humanity, urging other well-meaning sons and daughters of Ikona to emulate Ntatam by reaching out to the less privileged, describing the Heal the World Foundation as unique, godly, and human-centric. Earlier in his welcome address, Dr. Francis Otong, Chairman, Priestly Ordination Steering Committee, said the car will not only help Father Omoman in his daily travels, but also enhance the church outreach programs, describing Tatam's gift as a blessing that will enable the church to extend its support to even more individuals and families in the community. Reverend Sokoride Momoman, who will be ordained on Saturday, September 21, 2024, as the second diocesan priest, is expected to perform his first Mass and reception at St. Michael Parish, Ikorayane Diene, hence the need to prepare him with the basic requirements for the office as a newly ordained Catholic priest. Among dignitaries that grace the occasion include Commissioner for Health, Akwa Ibom State Professor Vincent Umor represented, Dr. Mrs. John Paul Eduo, Mrs. Ememua, who served as Mother of the Day, Mr. Nkeneke Akpanefo, SA to the Governor on Media, among others.
The recent nationwide protest took its toll on church attendance across the state on Sunday, while some churches, especially those in urban areas, recorded scanty attendance. Those in rural areas had larger attendance. As our reporter Esther Warren went round some churches last Sunday, observed worshippers using the opportunity to pray to God for peace in the state.
At the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Ikorekangitam, in its local government area, the resident pastor, Elder Fonisuk, lamented the scanty attendance of worshippers, which he attributed to the effects of the protest, while appreciating God for peace in Akwa Ibom State, courtesy of the peaceful governor, Pastor Mweno. On the other hand, the Apostolic Church Nigeria and Tanbat in Ibionibom local government had a larger attendance, where the area superintendent pastor, Apostle Emmanuel Lumo, spoke on the miraculous power of divine visitation, while the Itufield superintendent, Apostle George Okman, used scriptural thoughts from Zephaniah chapter 3 verses 17 to 19 to encourage members to make wise use of the season of divine visitation for their redemption and restoration.
Why the church is scanty is because of this bad covenant protest. People felt that throughout from Thursday till today they did not go out for business, and as such they don't have what to offer in the church.
This month is a month of visitation. I can charge all the Christians that they should believe in Christ, they should believe in the word of God, that one day God will visit them.
It is an divine visitation that comes with power, that is miraculous, that brings
Apostle Inyeke Kuma, founder of the Peculiar Redemption Church, No Koritam, of Obot Street, Uyo, appreciated church members for not joining in the protest and urged them to be deep-rooted in the faith for fruitful lives. At the Assemblies of God Nigeria, number 66, Akwanesian Street, the General Council Secretary, Reverend Godwin Amawo, urged Christians to always look up to God for sustenance, especially now, in his words, there is famine in the land.
And I thank members of Popular Congregation for not having their name registered in the chaotic movement. And I thank our young boys, thank people in Niger Delta, and I pray for those Northerners to come to senses. Because when I try to look at events, they have the power anytime they want, they have the political strength.
At the Mustard Seed Church, also known as High Tension Power Assembly, Ikonbondi Tam, the senior pastor, Emmanuel Bain, noted that the church has rather used the period of nationwide protest to engage in a 21-day prayer service for total victory and restoration. Pastor Joshua Ibom, lead pastor, Victory Church of the Rock, located at number 100 Udomana Street, Uyo, spoke on the month of God's goodness and mercy.
From the first day we began this prayer conference, God has really been amazing. He has really proven himself to us in every dimension that he is God. And I know that today being the 7th day, that the miracles of the 7th day will be our own portion. So this month we are expecting God's goodness. God's goodness is a revelation. And anybody that believes that God is a good God is entitled to enjoy the goodness and the mercies of God. And so far we are poised to enjoy the outpouring of God's goodness and the mercies upon his people in this month of August.
Worshippers from different churches enumerated their blessings for going out to praise God amid the nationwide protest.
So today, the first Sunday in the month of August 2024 has been a blessing one, and we believe God that he is going to do more and more as we keep trusting in him.
There will not be an exemption. We are praying, looking for the mighty hand of God to descend on this powerful team. Total victory. Each and every one of us, we need total victory in our life.
Today, we know God is in existence. And he has mercy for us. He plans good things for us. And that is why we are here.
Esther Morin, Akbc News.
A federal high court in Lagos on Monday granted 50 million naira each to 2 students of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic and Resign Regal Academy, Timothy Oluwabukola and Anthony Odemero, who allegedly hacked MTN Nigeria communication computers and stole airtime and data valued at 1.9 billion naira. Justice Akintayo Aluko granted them bail after hearing 2 separate bail applications filed by the defendants. In addition to the bail sum, Aluko ordered the defendants to provide 2 sureties each, one of whom must be a civil servant in the federal or Lagos state employment who must be grade level 14 and above. He said that the second surety must be a landed property owner within the jurisdiction of the court, provide evidence of ownership, and must swear an oath of affidavit. On the foreign scene, U.S. Vice President and presidential candidate of the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, has announced her running mate for November's presidential elections. Ms. Harris announced Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, as a vice presidential nominee. She tweeted on the X platform, "I am proud to announce that I have asked Tim Walz to be my running mate. As a governor, a coach, a teacher, and a veteran, he is delivered for working families like his. It's great to have him on the team," she wrote in a post on X. And on that note, we've come to the end of our package. Do join us by 8 o'clock this evening for another bulletin. My name is Mercy Ikere. Do have a pleasant day. Good afternoon.